Schools will close soon for Christmas vacation. The weather forecast shows enough snow for building snowmen, sledding, or snowball fights. We'd expect to see happy, excited children eagerly awaiting the big day, but what's this? A group of children have finished practicing their Christmas pageant, but for some reason, they don't look very happy. Let's listen in.
We're supposed to sing joy. We're supposed to sing joy to the world in the Christmas pageant this year, but I don't feel all that joyful.
Me neither. I think this is the week that we're going to visit my great aunt. I hate being dragged from one old relative's house to the next every Christmas. And my great aunt always gives us fruit cake.
Oh, I have a different reason for feeling sad. My parents keep asking me to make a Christmas list, but I'm having trouble coming up with it. I don't want to end up getting socks and underwear for Christmas.
That reminds me, we wrote about what we want for Christmas in English class today, and then exchanged papers to proofread them. That new kid wanted a pair of mittens and some boots. Can you imagine asking Santa for boots and mittens? Maybe if you can't come up with some ideas, that's what you'll get.
Boots and mittens!
Boots and mittens don't sound all that joyful to me either. My problem is trying to stay really good around Christmas. You know, Santa knows when you've been bad or good in those naughty and nice lists.
Yeah, and what Santa doesn't see, Mom or Dad always does.
I started making my bed every day. Well, almost every day, just to be sure.
My brother cleared the table without being asked. I think he wants something really big.
I watched my little brother while my mom baked cookies. I didn't yell at him for a whole half hour.
You know, we haven't even had a snow day this year. Last year we had 2 by this time.
It just seems like everyone is expecting me to go somewhere. I don't want to go or do something I don't feel like doing. I'm not having a season of joy.
Where is all this Christmas joy? I keep waiting for someone to bring me some.
Finding joy. You know, my mom is always smiling and singing when she's baking Christmas cookies. Maybe I'll ask her why standing in front of a hot oven and sometimes burning her fingers makes her happy.
Yeah, and my aunt spends forever getting Christmas cards ready to spend and seems to enjoy it. Maybe there's a reason why.
Sorry I'm late. I had to help my dad get the Christmas lights down from the attic. We're a little late decorating this year. My dad goes out in the cold for hours putting up more and more lights each year. Seems like a lot of work, but he looks forward to it.
We're trying to find out why people are joyful when they just seem to be doing a lot of extra work. Could you ask your dad why he enjoys putting up lights?
Sure, I've wondered that myself.
The children each went to question their families about why they seemed so happy when Christmas just made a lot of extra work for them. The next day, they met back at Cameron's house. His little brother sat to the side with figurines from a nativity set.
I asked my mom why she spends so much time baking cookies that she ends up giving away, sometimes to complete strangers. She told me that when she was a kid, all the moms in the neighborhood would make up plates of cookies. All the moms in the neighborhood would get together and bake their favorite Christmas cookies. Then they would make up plates of cookies and take them to nursing homes, homeless shelters, and soup kitchens. She said it always made them feel happy to see how much joy it brought people. She says it gives her joy to surprise a delivery guy or trash collectors or lonely neighbors with a plate of cookies.
I asked my aunt why she spends so much time and money sending cards to people that she hardly ever sees or talks to. She told me a story about one Christmas vacation when she stayed with her grandmother up north. All her grandmother's kids had moved far away and couldn't visit very often, but my aunt said she would still remember the look on her grandmother's face when she'd open a Christmas card and out fell pictures of her grandchildren or a long letter. My aunt said it gives her joy to think that the card she sends might bring that kind of joy to someone.
My dad told me that when he puts up lights outside at Christmas, he imagines that each one is one of the angels that appeared to the shepherds. He says that just like the angels brought news of joy to the shepherds, he hopes that his lights bring joy to other people.
Wow, cool. Wow, cool.
Just then, the children noticed Cameron's little brother, Wesley, sitting alone, arranging the figurines in the family's nativity set. He was smiling and babbling softly away to the little toys.
Wesley, why are you so happy? Who are you talking to?
Oh, I'm talking to baby Jesus. I told him I can't wait till his birthday.
Why? Are you expecting a big present?
No, silly. I'm just happy that Jesus came to live with us and teach us to be nice to each other. I like it when people are friendly and not mean. You know, Jesus and joy both start with the letter J. Jesus brought joy to the world.
Wow, out of the mouths of babes.
Yeah, I guess when Jesus healed people, he brought them joy.
And when he fed people, he brought them joy. I know I always enjoy a good meal when I'm hungry.
And when he was a friend to people who had no friends, that would have brought them joy.
I'm embarrassed. Here we kept thinking that Christmas was about someone making us happy, bringing us joy. But it's more than that. It's about us bringing joy to others, just like Jesus did. I'm going to go help my mom bake cookies.
I think I'll go make a card for my aunt, and maybe I'll even write her a letter.
I'm going to ask my dad if I can give my last year's winter stuff to the coat driver in town. It's a warm coat and it might bring someone a little joy.
I think I'll help my dad put up the lights this year. I like the idea of angel lights bringing joy.
Hey, wait a minute. First we have a song to practice. I think we can sing it more joyfully this time.
Thanks to our children this day. Yes, well deserved. And for those who might be visiting, I'm Jeffrey Dick, one of the members here at the church, and a part of the worship team. And today is our fourth Sunday in the season of Advent. And we remember that Advent's the season where we prepare our hearts and minds for the coming of Jesus, as our children just demonstrated for us. And one way that we can do that is to prepare by making room in our lives for all that matters. So for those who have been following along this Advent season in our time with children, we unwrapped a big box on the first Sunday in Advent, and we discovered that what was inside it, there was nothing. Thank you, children. But we discovered that even though it was empty, we discovered hope. Hope for seeing that which was possible in a difficult situation. And then on the second Sunday of Advent, we used our creativity, and our box became a table of peace. And we discovered that there was room for everyone to gather around God's table. And last Sunday, with the help of Oliver and Henry, our box became a crib as Mary and Joseph poured out their love and welcomed their newborn son, our Savior Jesus. And we and they discovered love. Now this morning, this is the fourth Sunday in Advent, and it's all about joy, as the children have shared with us today. Joy is different than happiness. Happiness is when we smile with our face and are pleasant. Joy is something deep in our heart. Now at times, the joyness that's all around us can be seen in music, in lights and decorations, in the families that gather together. And music plays an important part, as our children shared with us some very joyful songs this morning. So this morning we're going to reimagine our big box, not simply as something that we can see, but something that we can hear. And if I had thought about this, I would have had it a little bit taller of a box, but let's see if we can improvise just a tad here. There we go. Get it more in the center. Ta-da. So, little drum roll, please. And yes, our box becomes a drum. Because what every newborn mom wants on Christmas Day is a drummer boy, right? Now, typically for our children's moment, there would be children up front, but the children have already been up front, and a lot of times adults sitting in the back don't always feel a part of those moments. So this morning, I want everyone to be involved in our time of celebration. And I want everyone to discover joy this morning. And we're going to do that by remembering the Christmas story one more time. We begin with Mary and Joseph going to Bethlehem. Now, how did they get there? Plane, trains, automobiles?
No, those were invented.
Those weren't invented. That's right. Thank you. Now, the gospel writer Luke tells us they went, but he doesn't tell us how they got there. But what do we imagine Mary and Joseph, how did they get to Bethlehem? Well, they walked, and what did Mary ride on?
A donkey.
A donkey, that's right. So let's begin by imagining the clip-clop hooves of a donkey carrying Mary into the town of Bethlehem. And for all of our friends watching at home, I want you to join in this as well. Now, I've got the cardboard box, and you don't. But you have other instruments at your disposal. For instance, you've got a black hymnal that very few people open because the words are on the screen. But this morning, you can take your black hymnal, not the black Bible, but the black hymnal, and that could be your drum, or you can use the pew in front of you and tap on that. So I invite you to get your musical instruments ready. You got your hymnals out? You ready? So we want to make the clip-clop sound of the hooves of a donkey. Wonderful, wonderful. Cut. There we go. Now we know that the story continues. After Mary and Joseph had made it to Bethlehem, an angel appears to the shepherds. And the shepherds are frightened when the angels first appear. So now we need a scary movie beat, something like dum da dum dum. Can we do that? Dum da dum dum. Wonderful. If we were doing a radio play, you would be all hired. Then the angels sing of a good news, joy to the world. And we just sang joy to the world, so we could tap joy to the world out, right? Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Beautiful. When the shepherds heard the good news of the birth of Jesus, they were overcome with joy, and they ran to Bethlehem. So now we need to make the sound of shepherds running. Can you do that? Oh. In addition, we know that there were magi, wise ones, following a star. And they came to Bethlehem to see a newborn king. And they brought presents. Imagine the joy that Mary and Joseph felt when they arrived. And we can imagine that manger scene with some sheep and cattle and some camels from the wise ones, all getting together in the excitement of celebrating, bringing gifts to Jesus. And what would all that sound like? It would sound like a lot of joy. So you ready? Let's make some joy with our music today. What a sight and sound that must have been that time when the Magi and the shepherds and Mary and Joseph and the new baby Jesus were there. And now let's imagine the joy that we feel when we realize that God has given us enough. And that when we share all that what we have, we can do more than feel joy, we can spread joy. There is more joy in this world than we can imagine. Sometimes we express that joy in words. Sometimes we drum it. Sometimes we sing it. And sometimes we do all three. So for our closing today, we're going to offer our blessing with some words that you'll repeat and a little drumming to go with it. So repeat after me and then make a joyful noise. Make room for joy.
Make room for joy.
Make room for joy for everyone.
Make room for joy for everyone.
Jesus is coming. We are making room for joy.
Jesus is coming. We are making room for joy.
And thank you.